Yes, people, welcome back to AlbertJTV for another episode of Life Stories. Hashtag episode 17. But people, before we get into it, let's hit the intro. And there you have it once again, people. Welcome back to AlbertJTV. As I like to say, people, welcome to the Southeast London red carpet. People, it's been a while since I've done a live stream, actually. I've been taking a little bit of a break and obviously life outside of YouTube life, and I'm sure Charlie understands as well. But yeah, I'm back, man. Life Stories, episode 17, man. Wow. People, as I always have to say, obliterate the like button, and audio listeners, you will not have to wait long. I'll put this on my audio so you can hear me and Charlie's dulcet tones as we speak through this live stream podcast. But people, yeah, man. As you can see, I've got an amazing guest with me today. Bit of a term with life stories, but you know what? Charlie's been. I've seen your content, bro. As we spoke before we came on live, you know, you don't support one of the fashionable clubs, but it is your club, and you
Yeah,
represent your club fantastically well, my friend. Well done on nominations last year for the FCAs. You much deserved.
appreciate it.
Consistent work ethic. And mate, you know what? It's a privilege to get you on, man. Welcome to AlbertJTV, my brother.
Yeah, no, honestly, I appreciate. Honestly, yeah, I really appreciate. You know, for you having me on. Of course, we always support each other, and it's good to see fellow content creators. That's the good thing with being on YouTube.
Yeah.
Like no matter what team you support, it's just people always they're supporting each other. So yeah, I really appreciate you having me on.
No, Charlie, my pleasure, man. Just keep up the amazing work you're doing, man. It's incredible. Um, right, let me go to the chat quickly. Don't recognize a few. Junior, how big up yourself, guys. Jonathan, bless everyone. Um, Albert, are you in Germany on Friday, mate? No, I'm not in Germany on Friday. I'll be too busy at work to be going to Germany. But no, I won't. I'll be too busy working, and I'll be covering the ladies' Euros with another YouTube channel, which I'm looking forward to doing. Actually, it's followed the England women team for a long time, Charlie. I'm 21 plus VAT, mate. I'm gonna let you get older, but yeah, getting there. But no, Charlie, man, no, really glad to get you on for Life Stories because it allows me with this particular content series to branch out not just to my own set of supporters as Arsenal fans, but the whole shebang, whether it be Premier League, Championship, League One. Congratulations on the promotion, by the way. We'll talk
Yeah,
about that.
appreciate it.
Yeah. What a last day, man! Flipping
Yeah,
hell, man.
mad.
Never seen anything like it. But we'll sort of touch on it. But first thing I must say is congratulations to these young lads, Charlie. England under 19s winning the European Championship against Israel last Friday. Massive achievement for these guys. I sort of looking at in terms of the clubs that some of these guys play for. So it's quite a wide mixture, Charlie, actually. So representing Brentford, Peterborough United, Liverpool, Man City, Borussia Dortmund, Bristol City, and Aston Villa.
Yeah,
So there's some really good youngsters there, man. There's one guy in particular, Charlie, you might be aware of. He plays for Villa. It's I forgot his first name, but I remember guess it Carney Chukwuemeka.
yeah.
He's made like the first person that mentioned him was a Villa fan that I used to podcast with about 2 seasons ago. He said this guy is a serious talent, and I think there's rumors that he potentially might leave Villa.
Hmm.
But no, they've got some. Listen, great achievement, but you know what it is, Charlie. I think coming to you quickly. I think what people need to understand though is a great achievement by these set of lads, but you know they're at an age where you're not guaranteed to make it, man. It's tough to break into your respective club, particularly for some of these guys that play for the Premier League clubs as well, man. What's your thoughts, my friend, man? Quickly.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it is interesting. Like you said, they're still really young. There's quite a few of them I actually seen that are obviously under 19s, but I think there's Alfie Devine who's 16. There's a few other 16-year-olds, which is crazy. But yeah, like you said, that's why I think you see now a lot of young players go abroad. Like you seen there, you said there's one. I think there's one for Juventus as well. I can't remember his name, but he plays for Juventus. Like you said, there's the one from Dortmund. And there's a lot of youngsters doing that, and I think that's probably the best thing to do, to be honest, because like you said, it's very hard,
difficult.
Especially like harder than it has ever been before, really, to try and break into a Premier League team. That's why you see, like a lot of players going abroad, and like you've seen with say for example, Man City, over the last sort of few weeks, a lot of their youth players have sort of went on a permanent transfer to different clubs as well to try and get first team football. So yeah, it is difficult.
No, you make a good point. It is. I think that's probably like Charlie. I'm a little bit older than you. Like I said, 21 plus VAT. So there were a lot of English guys that there weren't a lot. There was like not many that played outside of England, like the likes of David Platt, Chrissy Waddle. There's Walker back in the day. There wasn't many that did it. There wasn't many, but you're right. I think that's sort of the way forward. You've seen obviously with Jude Bellingham, he's still quite young.
He's crazy, isn't it? I mean, I think
yeah.
what is it? I think he only just turned 19 the other day. That's just insane. And he's nearly made like 200 appearances already. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's true. NS Sports. Thanks for the question. I'll try and get some guys. If you want later, sort of during the stream, if you want to get some questions into Charlie, do so, and I'll try and come back to them. But I just want to sort of not gear away from I got the great man on here in the first place. But yeah, Charlie, let's go right into it, mate. So yeah, first question, man. So yeah, your Bristol Rovers story, mate. Why Bristol Rovers? Earliest memories and your influences. # where it all began, mate.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit of a crazy situation, really, because being younger when I supported him, I didn't actually start supporting him. It was actually one of my friends back in primary school. It was 2007 in primary school, and basically out of nowhere, because a lot of like back then, a lot of my friends didn't really support or didn't at least wear their tops, their local teams. It was usually Man United, Chelsea, or that Liverpool, that sort of thing. But it was out of nowhere, and basically one of my mates asked me. We got to the JPT final, which is of course now called the Papa John's Trophy, whatever it's called now. But yeah, basically we'd got to the final and it was against Doncaster at the Millennium Stadium in Cardiff. And my mate basically just asked me, "I've got a ticket. Do you want to go?" And I said, "Yeah." And yeah, ever since then, I've literally been supporting him since 2007. So bit of a mad journey, really. And then to see my Rovers hero, which are probably a lot of people will know now. But of course, I think a lot of people now would have thinking, "Oh, he was at Liverpool, wasn't really that good." But of course, it was Ricky Lambert.
Of course, yes, Ricky, yes,
yeah, who didn't know, and he was, he'd gone on to obviously score on his England debut, etc. Scoring I think 14 goals in his first Premier League season. So yeah, these were pretty much my earliest memories. It was really good because in the first season I started going, we lost the JPT final, unfortunately, in extra time.
Yeah.
But we also got promoted as well to League One at Wembley, at first team to win at the new Wembley in 2007.
Like a stat.
And then as well, that was off the furthest we've ever got as well in the FA Cup. We got to the quarter final of the FA Cup that season, mind, which is crazy. But I think we lost. We beat Fulham away when they were in the Premier League, and we were in League Two. And then unfortunately, we got to the quarters and we lost. I think we lost 5-1 to West Brom, but still, that was amazing.
It's a great run. That's a great run. Great story. Charlie, big up. Let me come to chat quickly. Thank you, Rich. By the way, thanks to that Rich United fan.
Big up, Rich.
Much appreciate, mate. Yeah, good old Rich, man. Rich, keep up the work, mate. Keep up the work, bro. We'll get in touch and do something for next season. But Charlie, I sort of come into Bristol Rovers kind of recently in terms of I think Paul Tisdale was in charge before Joey Barton, I believe. Is that right?
Paul Tisdale, yeah.
How did that go before Joey Barton came in?
Yeah, not good, to be honest. Yeah, not good. Then you had Ben Garner as well, who was
Yes.
he was at Palace Academy. He was a coach for ages. He was there when you had Wan-Bissaka and all that, all them players, and Klein when he was younger as well. And then went to Tisdale and just didn't work. And then of course Barton come in I think he come in February, so he didn't have any of the. And our team last year was already terrible, by the
Yeah.
way. It was terrible. And Barton come in after the transfer window had ended and couldn't. He tried to, but I think the team was already relegated before he even come in. But then we got relegated. But then, of course, like going to bring up this season was just crazy.
What before you carry on, Charlie? Because Joey Barton, right? He's an interesting character.
To say the least.
I think he defines the term Marmite. To be honest with you, definitely, I would say with Joey Barton. So, what did you make of it when he when he was linked with the job and got the job at Bristol Rovers? What was your sort of first initial thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I was quite happy. I was really happy because before he was at Fleetwood in League One, he'd done really well there. But then it was sort of like you could imagine, like you said, him being Marmite, etc. There was a lot of fans. I mean, to be fair, it's crazy because obviously it had all the stuff in the press about his wife. Apparently, he'd hit her, and stuff like that. And obviously, loads of stuff he's done in the past, let alone but to be fair, a lot of fans still to this day haven't been back to the football since he's been in charge. So that which is there's quite a few number, even though I think we've just gone past our highest season tickets ever. There's still loads of people that aren't going and haven't been since he's been in charge. So it's crazy, to be honest. But when he come in,
that's even with the promotion on the last day of the season.
That's even with the that's even with the promotion, the club on the high, new training ground, good feel about the club and everywhere, and it's crazy, isn't it? But that's what happens in football, I guess.
He's a very divisive character, man. So before I come on to sort of the next kind of thing to ask you, sort of in last way. So where do you see? How are you feeling going into the season and going to League One? Because obviously, how confident are you, or how do you see Bristol Rovers faring this season? Because obviously, I think the likes of Charlton is in League One, Sheffield Wednesday, I think Bolton are in League One as well. So, got some nice away days to go to, mate.
Yes, it's crazy, isn't it? Like, if you'd have said that sort of like 10, 15 years ago that you'd be playing, 2022, 23 season, you'd have Portsmouth, Ipswich, Derby County.
Of course, yes.
Yeah, obviously now, thank God, they've been took over as well, which is brilliant news. But it's gonna be tough. There's a lot of very big clubs, a lot of teams being backed a lot. But I think because of the way we finished last season and the way Barton's got us playing really good football, for me, I said it on a few videos that it's the best best football we've played since I've been going anyway, for the last 15, 16 years.
Wow.
So I think I'm going to say mid-table, but I think Barton will aim higher because he's actually just signed a new 4-year deal as well, which come out of nowhere.
2026, isn't it? I believe.
Yeah, 2026, and he even said he wants us to be the best team in Bristol, because obviously everyone knows you got Bristol City there, big rivalry. But he said he really wants us to take us to the Championship and stuff like that. So he's here for the long time.
Yeah. So what did you say? It's sort of going into the new season. Is there any particular areas of the pitch where, I know you came up with your last season, the last day, but is there any areas of the pitch that you are concerned about, or that Joe Barton needs to address in terms of bringing players in?
For me, I think we need a few centre backs, because that's the thing. Last season we had quite a few loanees.
Yeah.
You know, we had the two centre backs were loanees. One of them we made permanent, and the
Yeah.
other one has gone back to Stoke. But hopefully
Okay.
we can get him back on loan. And then you've got Elliot Anderson was a big talk. He was class for us. Come on loan from Newcastle. You know, Barton. I think using his contacts. I think
Yeah.
Shola,
Cool.
Ruby, and Steve Harper are
Yeah.
working at Newcastle. So obviously Barton used to play for them. So we got him, and he's been class. But obviously he's now gone back to Newcastle. So I still think we need a few wingers, probably a centre midfielder and a few centre backs, and I think we're pretty much sorted. To be
Well,
honest,
you sound like Arsenal's transfer window. go past some of the Arsenal fans. Oh, don't ever get me started. Yeah, there's plenty of time for me to talk about that. Believe me, don't worry. I will cover that. People in the chat getting back to the Arsenal sort of transfer. We still, as people keep telling me, Charlie, in the Arsenal fan base, it's still early in the transfer window. I said, okay, cool, I'm all right. But I'm not one of them people to lose my heads anyway. I don't operate like that, believe it or not, on my channel. But we'll see. But now, Charlie, man, great insight, man. Like I said, this is why I do the life stories series, so that people get to hear different points of view, not just within terms of Premier League clubs. And so it's great. It's fantastic to get you on, man. Yeah. So your team, man, especially with that last day result. Yeah, let me come to that. Sorry, before we go.
yeah.
So a 7-goal swing, right? Is that right?
Yeah.
I mean, you must have thought, you're gonna have to settle for the playoffs, isn't it? Is it 7-0?
Yeah, I know.
He must be still recovering, Charlie, to be honest, mate.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it was crazy. But honestly, because, you know, obviously if people would have been looking at that thinking, wow, you know, Rovers must have paid the Scunthorpe or the EFL or stuff like that, because, you know, and that's the thing, we always do it. We always do it by finishing third. Like we don't win leagues, we don't finish second. The last two times we've gone up has been finishing third on the final day. You know, back in 2015, I think it was, or 2016, we scored a 92nd minute winner to go up in third, and then obviously the madness that happened against Scunthorpe. And the thing is, obviously, most people probably not watching won't know, but basically Scunthorpe were, of course, got relegated this season
already. Yeah.
in the National League for the first time ever in their history. A lot of bad stuff going off the pitch with them. But three weeks prior to playing us on the final day, they were officially relegated, right? And then, because a lot of people were saying, "Oh, why did Scunthorpe play all their youngsters?" Because that's what they basically did. They played all their youth team basically.
Yeah.
Because, you know, as you'd imagine, most of their squad were up for, you know, out of contract, etc. So we're already leaving. So 3 weeks before playing us, they started playing their youngsters. So they had like a 17-year-old goalkeeper. They had a 16-year-old, 20-year-old, whatever, right? I think the average age was like 22. So it was crazy, right? So they already started doing that before us. But then when it come to the, you know, week before, I've got a video on Twitter, right? I put it on Twitter saying that I actually thought Rovers would win 7-0. But stupidly enough, I didn't put a bet on it, and the odds were madness. But anyway, I was really confident. I even, you know, at halftime mine was only 2-0. And I was still saying to people, don't worry, you know, chill, we're going to do it. And then to score 5 goals in the second half, and yeah, it was just unbelievable. And then, yeah, you know, the whole of, you know, we got this long road basically going from our ground down to the city centre called Gloucester Road, where everyone, if you ever go to Bristol, you need to go there. Loads of, you know, really good pubs, etc. And that's where we all go. And it was just packed out. There was players on top of lampposts, dancing, drinking. Yeah, it was crazy. What a day, honestly.
Yeah, but it's mad. I'm thinking to myself, I saw that result. I said, what? I said, this is incredible. 7-0. So Charlie must, I'm thinking, I ain't going to talk to I believe this guy for about a week to recover, man. I'm not going to talk to you in that time. But yeah, that's a great, I've never seen anything like that before, ever. Never, ever. But now, fair play, man. You came up. Hopefully your boys will do your proud in League One this season, man. So I will definitely keep an eye out for your guys' results, man. 100%. But people, in the chat, as you see, guy along the bottom of the screen drawing the banner. I've also got Charlie's link for his channel in the bio. So people, if you can multitask, which I'm sure you can do, go and subscribe to my brother, man. Go and support the football community, people. But yeah, a bit of a gear change now. What I'm going to ask Charlie. So even I had to give myself a think about this one. There's quite a few people. Name me one past England international footballer that you would have liked to have seen play live, but never got the chance to watch live. Hashtag baller.
Yeah, so it's a good one. I mean, I was thinking when you obviously sent me the questions, I was thinking because luckily I watched Rooney.
Yeah.
I got to what I got. I think it was the Community Shield back in 2008 with Portsmouth
Oh my God.
and
Yeah,
Man United. So I
yeah.
got to watch Rooney play, but it was a good one. It was hard, like you said. You've got Lineker. There's so many players, but
Loads. Yeah.
I would have one player I'd have had to wish I watched live was I'd say Gascoigne.
Yeah, there you go. Good shout, bro. Good
Gascoigne.
shout.
Yeah.
Good shout.
He looked unbelievable. Obviously, you've seen all the craziness, but the quality of him was unbelievable. Like that, there was that was it the Scotland one where he celebrated and all the water and stuff.
That was on my that game was actually on my birthday when they beat Scotland 2-0. But no, Charlie, great shout, man. Yeah, Gaza, man. Yeah, listen, I obviously he's ex-Tottenham, so it does pay me a little bit. But listen, I can actually, I'm one of them people, Charlie. Look, listen, I don't care if you play for Tottenham, Accrington Stanley, United, Millwall. If you're a good player, you're a good player. Gascoigne was exceptional. Even to come back from, he had a major injury. Even I'm old enough to remember it when they played Nottingham Forest in the FA Cup in 1991. And he came off during that game during a major injury, but obviously came back from it, spent some time in Italy playing for Lazio, spent time in Scotland playing for Rangers, played for ex-Everton as well. He played a lot of clubs, Gaza, but yeah, on his day, I think I don't throw around the term world class very loosely, but I think sort of around that period, sort of many people might agree in the chat, well, people watching this back, sort of early to mid-90s, Gaza was something special, man, 100%. But no, good shout. I think for me, because obviously I was lucky enough to see Lineker and Gaza and John Barnes and obviously Shearer and many people. I think there's one person I obviously remember him. He was, but I hear very good things about him from people that are older than me. Charlie, do some research as well, man. People that you're family-wise. With Trevor Brooking. I heard many good things at ex-West Ham and England. Brilliant footballer, man. Even the small clips I saw of him, you know what? I just thought, you know what, this guy could play, man. Like seriously, he's a good player, man. So yeah, he's one person that I probably there's a few people I could have thought of, but he's the one name that kind of popped to my head straight away. I thought, yeah, Trevor Brooking, ex-West Ham and England people. Now that is going way back, even before me and Charlie started people. Yeah, but Brooking was a baller, man. He was, from what I hear, very good player. Charlie, let's whisk through to the next one. So yeah, Charlie, this is a good one. I want to get sort of your thoughts really. This is to kind of put people on notice and take themselves away from the bubble of Premier League and FIFA and all that kind of stuff. Right. So yeah, Charlie, I know you'll know your stuff with this, man. Name me two players outside of the Premier League who you feel have the potential to make it into the Premier League. Hashtag unknown talent. Hashtag names for the future.
Yeah, I mean, yes, it's a good question. I think one player that actually popped up into my head earlier on, is and it's sort of he is playing, of course, outside the Premier League, but he's only on loan. So he technically he hasn't made a Premier League appearance yet. So I'll just add that in there.
Yeah,
but I think, and it's a goalkeeper. I don't know if anyone's heard of him, but his name is James Trafford. He's a Man City goalkeeper, 19.
Yeah.
He's he was actually on loan at Accrington Stanley this season.
Oh wow.
Or last season. And then he went to Bolton in the second part of the season on loan. And then he's just gone back to Bolton now. And he's also just made England under 21s debut as well. So he's definitely one up there, and he hasn't. And I put him in because technically he's at a Premier League club, but he hasn't made an appearance yet for Man City. So I think he's one of them. And I would have said, if this would have been 2 seasons ago, I would have said Keane Lewis Potter, but I think he's just about to go to a Premier League club. He's been at Hull City, a really, really good winger. I think he's been linked with Brentford.
Okay.
But if honestly, I know obviously some people just watch Premier League, but honestly, if you want to see, there's so many quality players, sort of Championship, League One, League Two, etc.
100%.
I mean, and I think the main one you got to look at is probably Ivan Toney, which I know who I know Arsenal have been linked with in the past, etc. And people have said his name, but he's another one where he's, he was in League Two, and it's crazy. There's so much quality talent in the lower leagues, and even in the the National League. When you look at Vardy, stuff like that in the past, and it's crazy, really.
Look, listen, even our own, one of my main loves at Arsenal, most people with Ian Wright, started his career very, very late. I remember like Greenwich Borough. He's spent. I think he probably professional debut. It's quite late, really. I think it was about 23 years old at the time. So a lot of stuff going on outside of football with him, and he's spoken very openly about sort of his growing up and relationship with right. We absolutely adore him, Charlie. Ian Wright. I don't know anyone that does it, and I think I think the testament with Ian Wright, is I think even this lot of other rival football fans in terms of Premier League clubs, they might not want to admit it, but they like Ian Wright. Trust me. I think even some of the Tottenham fans probably would admit it. Well, they won't admit it, but they probably do like him. But no, Charlie, great shouts. I mean, even I forgot the guy's name, Charlie. You might remember. The guy was playing at Fulham last season. He's gone to Liverpool.
Oh, well, Carvalho.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see how he gets on.
He looks quality, to be fair. And also, obviously, you mentioned Ian Wright. That's another one I'd put when you asked that if you was to see a ex-England player or you wanted to see him live, Ian Wright would be another one, because, like you said, I watched
Charlie.
He's just quality. He's one of the the best people around, like you see on telly. He's always like laughing, always helping other people that aren't in a position of that's really high and really good. And like you said, I actually watched the documentary when he talked about his upbringing and stuff like that. And 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 obviously as a footballer, he was insane as a player. Yeah, he's another one. Amazing.
I'm glad you acknowledge that, Charlie, because I say to people, like, for those who weren't lucky enough to see not just Ian Wright, certain players play that you hear, they was brilliant or fantastic. And I would say to people, go and watch Premier League goals and Ian Wright's. You'd be like, wow. Like, I think, unfortunately for him, Charlie, he played at a time where, in terms of the England national side, because you had Ferdinand, you had Cole, you had Robbie Fowler, you had Shearer. So he as much as we love Ian Wright, like, we can't give him more England caps than he should have got. But he's just unfortunately, he's at a time where there were so many guys that were like hot strikers at that time, man.
Yeah. He was unreal, but I don't know. Even with the quality of strikers, I still don't know how he got. I mean, I'm not actually sure. I haven't looked at how many England appearances he's got, but I don't know how he's got.
He had 33 caps and scored 9 goals.
Yeah. He should have had way more appearances. He was quality.
Listen, Charlie, people gonna say I'm being biased, but trust me, but I agree with you, man. Honestly, bro. let me go to chat quickly. Who's in the chat? Yes, my Penzance Beauty, Georgina, thank you for dropping in, and Lottie Van Totti, thanks for dropping in again. No worries, man. Those two people, you'll get familiar with them people, because I will be doing some collaboration time with these people because of the ladies Euros. The excitement is picking up, people. I'm looking forward to it. But no, Charlie, great names, man. It'd be interesting to see some of the guys, even at Premier League level, and sort of going back into the day in terms of, we talk about people being outside of the Premier League, for example. Kevin Phillips,
Yeah, Kevin
Sunderland.
Phillips.
He came in. I think that season. I think the season he come into the Premier League with Sunderland. I think he scored over 25 goals in
Yeah,
the
yeah,
league.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
that's exceptional to come from the Championship to play and score that amount of goals. Is just phenomenal. So it can be done, people. There are players out there who are not fashionable, recognizable, and happen to be English sometimes as well. That are quite good.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, it's possible. But no, I'd be interested to see how some of the young guys get on in the Premier League this season. Is it Brennan Johnson that Nottingham Forest, I believe?
Yeah, he's class, but it's gutted that he obviously plays for Wales, doesn't he? But
Yeah, yeah,
he looks class.
he's
He
a
would have
good
been
player.
if Forest weren't promoted, I would have. That was another one I would have said because what was it? Obviously not the season just gone, but the season before
Before,
he was on loan in Lincoln in League One, and
yeah,
now he's
yeah.
scoring on his Wales debut and in the Premier League. It's crazy.
Madness. Yeah, it is. No, Charlie, man. So I got you on, man. Good shouts on people. Charlie's dropped some good names there, so people keep an eye out, as I certainly will do, man. So yeah, let me go. Let me go to the next one. So a little bit of a deviation, but it's interesting to see, man. Because listen, as much as we love football, people, um, I'm sure Charlie, you will tell me right now what other sports you're interested in. But yeah. So Charlie, name 2 non-footballing stars that are inspirational and that you enjoy watching. Hashtag potential, hashtag sporting greatness.
Yeah, it's a tough one to be honest because I mean, being honest with you, I love football, but I don't really I'm not really one for loads of sports.
Yeah,
I know
yeah,
that might seem weird for people, but obviously there are a few. I think I'll go with a female first because I think there are a lot of
yeah. Good
amazing
shout. Shout.
female non-footballing stars. Um, I mean, it is tough though.
Yeah, of course.
It's tough.
That's why I chucked the questions in, mate. I'll give you not some easy one.
Yeah, it is tough. It has to be 2 non-footballing as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I can give you. I'll give you one of my ones. Because I thought about because I lost as much as I like to ask the questions. I like to think, oh, who would I kind if somebody asked me that? I think for me, the obvious one for like a male wise, because I like listen. People who know me, like I love football. I love my sport. Massive tennis, cricket, golf fan, whatever. Tennis for me is a no brainer. It's Roger Federer. I think the guy is. If you can't enjoy watching him play tennis, then don't watch tennis.
Yeah.
Because that guy, the way I would say from probably early 2000s to '02 to about '06, '07, that this guy was just, he was, don't get me wrong, listen, Nadal and Djokovic were there, but as an artist, if that's even possible to use that in tennis, he's just a beautiful player to watch, man.
Yeah.
Elegant, the movement, just injury. I say injury free, but obviously he's missed the last year or so. But he's just, I don't know how if you're a tennis fan, there's no way not possible to enjoy watching that guy play. He's
Yeah.
just exceptional. So that's the obvious one for me in terms of the sort of male style. What about you, my friend? Anyone?
It's tough. I mean, to be fair, I'd probably is a shout between 2 or 3. I think
Go
you've
on,
got
give him, chuck him out.
Djokovic.
Yeah, I love Jock. I
I
like
like
Novak.
Djokovic, and obviously you got Nadal. I think them all them 3. It's just the way they've been going, the amount of years they've been at the highest level for, and that's obviously the difference in it between a good player and a one that will be remembered for a long time in it. So
Mm.
yeah, I'd probably say either Nadal or Federer for all the stuff they do off the court as well. And
Yeah.
I'd probably go for another tennis player for a female. Actually, a name that's come up. I know, and she's not obviously been in there for long. But I'd probably say Emma Raducanu for
Yeah,
the
good shout.
I think a lot of young not just tennis players. I think young people that are into sports look up to her because she's really young. What is she, like 18 or 19
Yeah,
or something
yeah,
crazy?
and a Grand Slam champion. Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah, and a Grand Slam champion. So I think that's probably one I think that's good to look up to. I think this, for a lot of young, for women's sport. Shout out to her game too and everything as well that's in that. But I think a lot of people will be looking up to Raducanu, especially all the young female
yeah,
fans that
100%.
want to get up in the sporting world.
Yeah, no, it's a good shout because I mentioned a few weeks ago in terms of who was I looking forward to seeing their rise throughout the next few years, because she did something in tennis that has not been done before on the male or female side. She won the Grand Slam from qualifier without dropping a set. I mean, and this is the thing, Charlie. Like, she's still very young, and you got to remember this time last year, this girl was ranked 330 odd in the world.
It's
She's
mad, isn't it?
now in the top 10. She's got endorsements coming out of her ears. But even at the time when she won the US Open, that was only her 4th tour event. She hasn't even done a full year on the WTA tour.
Yeah.
And I think people forget, so when she come, the last 2 sort of slams, coming in from the French coming into Wimbledon, she hasn't had the best preparation. And listen, me personally, she wasn't going to win Wimbledon. She's still learning how to play on the surface, and you've got to learn how to the movement on grass. The bounce is not that high. So many different things, but I think with Raducanu, we've got to be. It's hard to be patient with somebody that's already won a Grand Slam already.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? Yeah,
she hasn't played that much. She hasn't played that much tennis, man. She's not been like I said, she's not even had a full year on the tour. So there's going to be a lot of losses and setbacks. I don't think she's even got a coach at the moment. So there's a lot of things still to come. But it's a great shout, Charlie, man. Yeah, what she done last August was just wow. I mean, it's incredible. But yeah, it's a good shout, man. And I'll say for me, female wise, I'm a big athletics fan, Charlie. So for me, this was an easy one again. And for anyone that watches athletics, Dina Asher-Smith, exceptional. It's a shame with the last Olympics, for example, because not many people knew at the time when she went there and competed in Tokyo that she was actually injured a few weeks before. So yeah, but she still managed to pick up a bronze medal in the relay, which I just think, and this girl's not even fully fit, man. Like, for goodness sake, man. But yeah, she's fantastic, man. 26, national record holder at 100 and 200 meters. And yeah, obviously a current 200-meter world champion, winning the gold medal in Doha in 2019. So people look out for Dina. It's top talent. I don't think I've seen, in terms of a British female runner, Charlie, it's sprinting wise anyway, anything close to how good she is. Not even close. No, honestly. So yeah, fair play. That's my shout to her, man. But Charlie, good answers, mate. Good answer. This is the best one. I want to get your answer about this one. Going on to the next one. People, like I said, smash the like button and subscribe to Charlie's channel with the link in the bio. People, follow him on his Instagram, which is going along the bottom of the screen as well. Sorry, Twitter, going along the bottom of the screen. So yeah, Charlie, this is the one, man. This is the main. This is the crux of why I want to get you on here, man. So yeah, what are the main differences you have seen when you first started out doing your YouTube channel, and the main differences now? Hashtag be candid. Hashtag be frank, my friend.
Yeah, I think the sort of main differences, obviously, obviously I'll go negative first, because obviously it's going to be there's a negative.
Get it out there, bro. Get it out there, man.
Positive things, but yeah, I mean, it's crazy because it was out there randomly. I started getting these all these random messages under videos and stuff, and then I had someone actually make an Instagram of One Rovers Vlogs hate page, and it was basically, and I don't have a clue who this person was. I don't think it's around anymore, but I was getting tagged in it, and they would basically, it was going over to my channel link and all my videos and saying, "Oh, dislike, unsubscribe," and stuff like that. And I was like, "What?"
What the hell?
I was laughing really, but
it's not
still,
nice,
people like that. And then I had a few people quote tweet my videos and saying, "Oh, who is this? Like, what is he doing? Why is he doing all these videos?" Even because for me as well, I try to at the end of the season as well, I try and do a lot of like goal compilations as well for
Yeah,
Rovers players. And sort of I was doing this voting system, and I done it the season we got relegated. So not this season just gone, the season before.
yeah.
And basically, I done one for our left back, who was actually our top goal scorer. He got like 12 goals from left back.
Flipping hell, man. Yeah,
And basically, people there like, and they were properly going hard on me, saying, "Oh, why?" And he was like effing and whatever, and all the
yeah.
other like, why is he making videos when we just got relegated and stuff like that? And I'm thinking, this is just what people want and stuff. And yeah, but to be fair, it hasn't been as bad as nowhere near as bad as I've seen with some people.
Yeah.
But it still has, it still does does get bad. I had a bit of time like that I didn't do any. I had a bit of a break from it all back. I think around Christmas time. But yeah, to be fair, a lot of it has been positive, which is good. The amount of even people. I don't. I've obviously got like 5.5. I just do it because I like what I do. I don't do it for like views.
Well said.
And whatever. And it's just good to see that people enjoy it. People like stop me at games and say, I like your channel, and even like ask me. I've only had a few people, but they've like asked me for photos, which I just get embarrassed by because I just do content because I like Rovers. I don't do it to, But if people, if people think I'm doing a good job,
you're doing something well, mate. You're doing something well.
If people feel like I'm doing a good job, and it's just good to see. And then obviously, like you said, I've been asked to go on with James Alcott, which is just crazy.
Great stuff. Yeah, mate, fantastic. Honestly, mate.
Yeah,
brilliant.
So that's but a lot more positivity than negativity. But it was sort of weird because it went until I got to like probably 3,000 subscribers until I started getting any negative. Like before that, there was literally nothing, and it was just out of one day randomly. But if people want to do that, then it's up to them, innit?
Yeah. No, well, listen, it's one question I always ask. This one question I always ask people when they come on, man. I've been fortunate enough, mate, to have had some great people on in terms of not even necessarily people that have necessarily even got channels. Some of them might have a big following, or some people's voice, it does carry weight, whether that's negative or positive. It just does. I think for me, Charlie, obviously we've come across each other quite recently, but like I said, I respect you immensely, mate. The work ethic for me comes through the likes of yourself and people like John Sinclair and Doug Enroyd, Liverpool fan. Like these are the guys that, you know what I mean? They like what they enjoy and they like what they do. And you touch on something very good, because I sort of listen. I've been very open and vocal about many things since I've been doing YouTube since June 2020. June 2020, June 9th, 2020. I started my YouTube channel. So, and I always say, Charlie, man, like the first 6-7 months of doing it, I think for me personally, you establish things very, very quickly in terms of who you want to work with and who to keep away from, to be honest with you. Because one thing I would say since I've started, and I look at it now, because I've had I had a thing happen sort of the end of January, early February. Some of the people in the chat may even still be watching this. You were very well aware of it. I YouTubed with a particular guy from September, October 2020. And that person decided for some reason to go and forward on private conversation between me and him to other people. Then that other person made it public on the platform.
Wow.
So the lengths people go to, Charlie, bro, it's you have to wonder, well, they don't have any moral compass, because otherwise, why would you do it? You know,
Yeah.
what did you get out of doing it? You know, I know what the aim was to do is to, as you're probably fully well aware, with social media aspect of it, is there's a massive cancel culture, and that's what kind of almost took place with myself. But a lot of people saw it for what it was. And one thing I won't do, Charlie, which I'll never do since I started YouTube till I continue to do it, is I will never ever put anything out there just for likes. I won't do. There's some things I will not do.
Yeah,
I won't do.
I'm the same. I'm the same. Obviously, it's like you see it a lot. You see it a lot, and I mean, to be fair, a lot of the time it is, to be fair, like a younger generation, which I can sort of get, sort of like 16 and below, because like you see now, there's a lot of younger content creators, which is obviously good. Like for me, just touching on that, I'm sort of one that started it pretty late. I started my channel 2019. So yeah, I was like 2022, nearly turning 23 at the time. Because I had a really bad starter problem when I was younger. I still get it a bit now, but that's what I think that's the one main positive thing that I can say that's come through this, is sort of just to be more confident in myself.
Fantastic.
To
Brilliant.
start on a YouTube channel, because it was honestly I used to go to speak. I remember in school as well. I think it was like year 4, year 5. I went up to do like a show and tell in front of everyone, and I had like all my football trophies, you know, when I was younger, and I was about to talk in front of the whole school. Mind, this is 300 people probably, and I started stuttering, and it was terrible, and I was like, and it was so bad, and everyone was laughing, and then it took ages for me to start a channel. So I think that's the other one thing this can say about it as well, that sort of my stutter, I still got it, but it's a lot better than it used to be.
No, fair, bruv. Listen, when you say, listen, like I said, you kind of said in the hashtags with the question, be candid, be frank, and that's fantastic, mate. Like, people come through adversity and come through the other side, and that's a massive testament to you. And like you say, like when you mentioned about the likes thing, I won't do anything for likes, and I've seen a lot of that within the 2 years I've been doing. I've seen a lot of channels bigger than me, smaller than me. I just think to myself, are you willing to go that far just for likes? To me, it's unbelievable, to be honest, mate. I just don't.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I don't understand why you would do certain content for likes. You know, for example, mate. I don't know how many Arsenal fans you know, but I'm sure you're well aware of certain people within the YouTube community.
Pretty much all of them. Like I'm like, you know, there's loads in there. There's
it's like, for example, like rest in peace when Claude died. Unfortunately, a lot of people that I know, like really good friends with, and I'm seeing people doing live streams who I know for a fact, Charlie, they weren't friends with him and they didn't know him. And I just think, if you're prepared to go to that kind of length just to get views and likes to talk about somebody who you weren't friends with, I think it's despicable.
I remember at the time as well, and even other stories as well, with people, you know, it's just crazy, isn't it? How, like you said, how people would actually do something like that, like you said, that didn't even know him, probably didn't even watch it, and they just do it because they know people would, you know, it's just madness.
But as you said, though, bruv, there is, listen, as much as we're not trying to scare people from not doing YouTube. Listen, embrace it, but do have a thick skin, because unfortunately, where there's good people, there's a lot of bad people. So listen, in line shit, I've been, like I said, with myself, child, I've been very lucky to have collabed and been on bigger channels, and I take that as a privilege, man, because not everybody gets asked to come on. They don't. So you have to take that as a privilege, and you know what I mean. I'm not, as I always say, mate. I am no big time Charlie, man. Believe me. So yeah, it is, man. You embrace it. It's not going to be easy, but people, if you like you mentioned, Charlie, you mentioned the key word. If you enjoy what you do, people will see that.
Yeah.
The right people will see it. So
Yeah.
no, that's the most important thing, man. But Charlie, man, it's been a pleasure having you on, man. Honestly, man. Like I've wanted to get you on for quite a long time. We've spoken quite a bit. And this was just appropriate to get you on for this particular type of content. You've raised awareness of your brilliant club. I don't know when the last time you played Bristol City, but I'm sure you're looking forward to it when it does happen eventually again.
Yeah, hopefully soon.
But no, like I said, man, keep up the amazing work on your channel. People go and subscribe. But tell people where they can find you. You can do it, man. You can tell them, man. Tell them.
Yeah, just YouTube One Rovers Vlogs. Like Albert said, Twitter is at One Rovers Vlogs as well. Then feel free to go on Instagram as well, Charlie_Hayne96. Yeah, always there. Even if could be there for anything. Even if you wanted to say how would you start a channel or anything,
Good shout.
any
Great shout.
any good thing in him. Yeah, shout out to Albert. He's one of the really good ones on the platform, on all the platforms and stuff. Always, positivity, gets on with people, helps, even to ask me to come on, it was, I really enjoyed it as well. And yeah, shout out to you. I know you do a quality job on all the content you do, and like you said, I really enjoy this sort of content you do as well, life stories as well. Graphics and madness. You've got all these graphics. I don't even do anything like this. This is crazy. So
you know the bad thing, Charlie. People say to me, "I'm," because like I've learned little bits sort of along the YouTube way, but I'm not. There's still stuff I'd love to learn in terms of more in terms of thumbnails and graphic side of it. But listen, this is why that's why they call it social media. There's people out there that do fantastic backdrops and whatever. Listen, big up to Martin Gunforce Edits, who done the backdrop for my weekly surgery show. He does. There's a lot of people out there that will help. That will help.
Yeah.
Just as there won't be people. That's just as there'll be people that don't want to help. So listen, it works. It works in roundabouts. But now, Charlie, thanks for the praise, man. Like I said, I enjoy what I do, and I've been lucky enough to collab with brilliant people like yourselves, and not just within my Arsenal community, but the wider footballing community as well, man. So yeah, man, up the Rovers, man.
Yeah, man. Up the Rovers.
But no, people gave you virtual waves and hugs goodbye. Like I said, I'll put this on my IGTV later for my audio listeners and for my Instagram family, as I like to call them. Smash the like button, as I always say. And yeah, man. Episode 17, I believe. Yes. God, it's flying past the live stories. So people stay tuned. And like I said, I'll be doing some women's Euro content, following the Lionesses with my fantastic co-hosts in the chat. I think they're still there, Georgina and Lottie. But yeah, man, it's another episode, man. So like I said, follow Charlie. The link is in my description to subscribe to Charlie's channel. And before people ask, as I always say, I have subscribed to Charlie's channel. So I wouldn't tell you to do something that I haven't done myself. So Charlie, much love. Thanks for coming. Like I said again,
appreciate it.
Yeah, people, that's AlbertJTV over and out. I will leave you with a little outro. Speak soon, people.